Richard, I just want to be attractive to my wife. Don't we all, bro? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Chill out. Hey, and hello, and welcome to the Restored Man YouTube channel. I am your host, King Richard, the Lionheart. This is the place for high-performing men to restore their peace, their power, and their presence so that you can heal shame, lead with love, and embody your masculine greatness. Okay, so I was having a conversation with one of my clients, my favorite one, or at least until you pull the trigger and decide to hire me. Okay, but we'll talk. It's a conversation, whatever. But he just said, I just want to be attractive to my wife. And I remember telling him, all right, well, let me spare you 10 years of therapy and hundreds and thousands of dollars of coaching, right? The irony being this is a paying client. At the end of the day, and this comes from reading over 1,000 books on the subject. This comes from me studying this for the last 14 years. This comes from me making every conceivable mistake in relationship and interviews. This comes from tens of thousands of hours of watching YouTube content and filtering it through my own life experience. This is hard-won, annoyingly simple information, right? Or insight, rather. The most attractive thing I have found, both in my own experience and in the experience of my clients, is conscious masculinity. I'm going to let that land for a second. Conscious masculinity. Now let's break that down for a sec. Conscious. What is conscious? Consciousness is simply the energy of being aware, right? So within the context of your life, are you conscious? Are you aware of yourself? Are you aware of your inner world? Are you aware of the distinction between yourself and your thoughts, right? Are you able to identify more than 5 emotions that you have? Are you able to identify your behaviors, your behavioral patterns? Do you have the humility to take a good hard look at yourself and see where you're wrong? See where you messed up, see where you can improve based off of the results that you want to achieve in your life, right? Having self-awareness, mind you, isn't everything, but my God, is it important with respect to attraction, right? So conscious. And it's not just you're aware of your internal world, you're aware of your external world, you're aware of the people around you, you care. This is part of mindfulness, right? Which is a horrible word for what it really describes, which is, being aware of the thoughts and feelings of other people and yourself. And so you're more connected. So the more connected you are to yourself, the more aware you are of yourself, the more empowered you can be, right? The more sovereign, because you actually have the ability to stop yourself and choose how you want to show up to the next moment with the next person in the next situation. So consciousness is very powerful in that regard. Masculinity, conscious, aware. Masculinity, what does John Wineland say? It is a grounded transmission of unconditional love, right? It is the energy of presence. It is the energy of containment, right? Structure. When we think of masculinity, we don't think of just like waging war. We don't think of tyranny. We forget all that, right? Forget anything that just for this video, forget anything that is against somebody else or at the expense of anybody else right now. You think of a man who is in control of his emotions. Why? Because he's aware of them. Because he is aware. Okay, I'm noticing that I'm feeling a lot of anger right now. He can catch it, can become aware of his emotions, and they don't own him. He does not make emotional decisions. Okay? He has a thought that he's not good enough. Okay? And that thought, he can see it, notice it. Okay, I'm having a thought. That's it. That's it. I'm simply having a thought that it disempowers me. Do I choose that thought? Yes or no? Right? No, I don't. What do I choose? I choose to do something else. This is a man who is more mature. He cares about meeting his responsibilities. He takes responsibility for his actions and is open to all of the consequences, right? He cultivates a strong sense of self by identifying and living out his values, by identifying his standards, right? By having boundaries within himself and his life. And that creates clarity, right? People know what they can and can't get away with when they're around him, right? And ultimately, at the end of the day, the most conscious masculine men that you know have a tendency of inspiring the people around him to feel safe. I feel safe around this person. That's interesting, right? And like we discussed in the other video, men who are embodied in their masculinity and are conscious, they're aware of themselves, they're aware of the effect that they have on other people, and they care genuinely about the effect that they have on other people, but they also simultaneously, right, they can trust their own opinion of themselves rather than be held hostage to the opinion of others. They are unapologetic about their thoughts, their opinions, right? And how they see things. You think grounded, you think contained, okay? This man, he has structure to his internal world. He is aware of himself. He's aware of his emotions. He's aware of his thoughts, his feelings, his behaviors. That right there is rare, right? That right there is rare because you have a man who takes radical responsibility for himself and the way that he shows up to the world. That's already a turn on for a conscious, emotionally mature woman. Why? Because she knows in her heart of hearts, at her core, she doesn't have to tiptoe around his feelings. She can actually express herself fully. She can express her desires. She can express her needs. She can express her displeasure, okay? Without him collapsing like a card table, right? She can express her disapproval of something. Right? She can pretty much just like express whatever's going on in her mind and in her heart with him, and he's not going to blow up, punch holes in the wall. He's not going to drink himself into oblivion. He's not going to snort coke lines and hire some hookers and have, or sex positive, I don't know what the phrase is anymore, but sex workers, right? And he's not going to go to Vegas and completely obliterate himself with the boys. He's calm. And he is autonomous, sovereign. He can choose how he wants to respond. Again, responsibility is the ability to respond to the world around him, to his own internal world. That's one part of it. Conscious masculinity. So that is one flavor of masculinity. That is one aspect of it, right? It is that grounded energy, that contained energy. The energy that is present. It is immovable. Okay. So there's you think of the image of a knight. You think Aragorn, right? You think Heath Ledger in A Knight's Tale, right? You think that kind of the knight in shining armor. And I'm not talking about like a simp. I'm talking about a man of integrity, right? When he says he's going to do something, he does it. He lives by his word. He stands by his word. He has virtue. He He doesn't lie, cheat, steal, right? Like he doesn't abuse the power and influence that he has. So that's one part of it, and he's aware of himself. And he's also aware of what else? His darkness. He's aware of the monster that is inside of him. He's aware of the primitive, wild animal that he is. What Jordan Peterson says, right? He's not afraid of the monster within himself. And here's the beauty of it. He has access. He has access to the monster within himself. Because this is something, I'm going to put you guys on game for a second on this, right? Your wife, she wants to know that she can have a gentleman and a vicious caveman. She wants to know that you have access to the entire scope of your masculinity. You have access to all 31 flavors of Baskin and Robbins. That you can in fact be the knight in shining armor, that you can in fact be the bad boy, the Marlon Brando with the leather jacket and the motorcycle. You don't need a motorcycle in order for this metaphor to make sense. He is not afraid of his sexual desires. He's in ownership of them. And this may seem like a lot, right? This may seem like a lot, but that's the whole game. The whole game is expanding your capacity to access and express all aspects, all parts of you. Conscious, I should have probably said this instead, conscious masculine leadership, right? Conscious masculine leadership is the most attractive trait. I have found, right, as a professional life coach, relationship coach to high-performing men, conscious masculine leadership is, quite frankly, the most attractive thing to the wives of the clients that I have served and that I have found over the course of my study. Why? Right? Because again, conscious, aware, masculine, contained, grounded, it's immovable. She can't throw him off center. Like life can't always throw him off center. That doesn't mean that he needs to be stoic and right, and just like nothing bothers him, right? But he chooses, he's in control. So he's centered. Leadership, he has influence. His friends trust him. Conscious masculine leadership, influence. He has influence first over himself. Secondly, he has influence with other people, right? Because he's trustable. If we need a job that needs to get done, I can rely on John. Right? John's the guy that's going to get it done. That's hot, bro. That's hot, right? And he has access to all of his emotions. He's not afraid of them. He's not reactive to all of his emotions. He is unapologetic about his desires, right? Being able to look his wife in the face and be like, I want you. I am taking you out at this time. I want you to wear this thing. And then we are going to do this freaky shit afterwards, right? It is that unapologetic, bold, authentic expression. And when he initiates sex, when he expresses his desires, and she pushes back, or she says, not now, I have a headache. She resists, right? There's got to be a better word, but you know what I mean, you know? He doesn't fold. Okay. All right, we'll try again tomorrow. All right, it'll happen. He is not afraid of any of her responses. That creates trust, and that creates respect. And a woman can truly only be, your wife can truly only be attracted to the man that she trusts and respects. Okay? Ask her. Scale of 1 to 10, how much do you trust me? And if we need to add different context, scale of 1 to 10, how much do you trust me to share your feelings with me? Scale of 1 to 10, how much do you trust me to share your needs with me? Scale of 1 to 10, how much do you trust me to share your desires with me? Right? How much do you trust that I will do what I say I'm going to do? Or that I won't forget? Now I have great news. Oh, this? Yeah, my cat got stuck in a bag and I tried to make the mistake of trying to help her get out. So looks like the cat's out the bag now. I have created a resource for you for free. It is a, let's call it just a trust audit, if you will, right? It is a series of 25 questions that you get to scale to give yourself a very practical, tangible, accessible view of the level of trust, safety, and intimacy that is in your marriage right now. Okay? Now, fair warning, this is going to be very triggering. It's going to be activating. It's going to be very revealing. If you're not having the level of intimacy that you want in your marriage, there's a high chance that this might piss you off, right? That's a good thing. Right? That's the passion police coming to get you. All right? But also, okay, this may be very triggering and may be very revealing, but guess what? It gives you a starting point. It shows you where you are, and then it's exactly the thing that can help you get to where you want to go, because now what do we have? We have a target. We have a wrapped up hand that's a little ridiculous. We have direction, right? This creates clarity. That clarity is what can help you create the results that you want when it comes to intimacy in your marriage. It is totally free. There is no opt-in. It is just right there in the description of the video. My request is, if it is valuable to you, that you let me know either in my email, therestoredman@gmail.com, or at my Instagram, right? The Restored Man on Instagram. I'll go ahead and put the links there below. And you can share what your experience was of doing that audit, and if you would like help with bridging the gap from where you are to where you want to go in your marriage, we can have that conversation as well. Okay? But for now, for all intents and purposes, this resource is free to use. Please go ahead and take it. Identify where you are in when it comes to the intimacy in your marriage, and then go to town. That is how we become attractive to our wife. Not by trying to be. By becoming more aware of ourselves. Masculine, becoming more contained, being able to feel powerful emotions, and still, this is where a meditation practice comes in. Leadership, the ability to influence and to drive things forward, to take radical responsibility for the outcomes you want to achieve, and then make them happen, and be so consistent, and be radically, insanely consistent until it does. That's what will make you magnetic and irresistible. And we'll talk more about that on this channel. But for now, I'll leave you with that.